Some of you out there might be wondering, what's planned obsolescence? Well, here's the definition. A policy of producing customer goods that rapidly become obsolete. Obsolete means there's something better than that. Obsolete and so require replacing. Achieved by frequent changes in design, termination of supply of spare parts, and the use of non-durable materials. Now, today I'm going to be talking about planned obsolescence in vehicles. Back in the early 1900s, Ford was making the Model T. So reliable, but one man over at GM, hang on, let me get his name, Alfred P. Salone at GM was like, if people are maintaining cars the rest of their life, then no one's going to buy them, and then we're going to go broke. This explains why GM products like Chevy and stuff aren't that great. Just in my opinion, I'm a Ford person, because they are the original ones who came up with planned obsolescence. For vehicles, at least. So, with planned obsolescence, it originally started with, instead of just keeping one vehicle the same and producing that until it becomes obsolete, like carburetors were replaced by fuel injection. So it's obsolete to put a carburetor on a car today. But this type of obsolescence was, why make one type of car for a really long time when we can make a new model every year? Different colors, different engine sizes, different everything. Of course, this didn't affect how long the vehicle could last, but it was still making people buy new cars every year, which is kind of defeating the purpose of getting a reliable car and then getting a new one the next year. But as we get in later, there was a thing where the people were just, I don't know how to quite explain it. People later, after like 1970s and everything, started putting useless junk in their vehicles. And if you look at it by comparison, you can see, does this really need to be on here? I mean, cup holders are nice, but people didn't have that at the beginning. So, yeah, and then by making it less reliable, people are buying more parts, and then you get more money for selling those parts. That's where the type of planned obsolescence I normally think of comes into play. And, as well, I catch my breath, the car manufacturers are also limiting the supplies for spares, which allows them to sell more different vehicles. When there's no more spare parts, they don't make them anymore, and you can't fix your vehicle because it's now obsolete, which is mildly infuriating. So, during 2008, a recession happened. It was like the Great Depression, but the Great Recession. It wasn't quite as bad, but it was pretty bad. So, the stock markets went down quite a bit, but not like the Great Depression. So, President Obama was like, hey, despite the car economy, let's get rid of a bunch of perfectly good vehicles and then have people buy new vehicles because there will be less vehicles. So that was an actual thing. Google it. It didn't work. And they got rid of a bunch of random vehicles that were perfectly fine. Some of them would have lasted years longer. Another mildly infuriating thing. So, you can also tell a difference if, let's say, for example, a car manufacturer makes a vehicle for you to buy. It is planned obsolescence. But let's say they also have like a tank division, for example. They're not going to sell the government faulty tanks to fight for America. So you can tell how, so that would be like one way of selling if a company has the ability to make something good, but they choose not to. If they have something that's good, something that isn't. And it's made by the same company. So that's just kind of what planned obsolescence is, and that's kind of also what's killing DIY, do it yourself, if you're like me and I didn't know what the heck that meant for like years. And I enjoy being able to work on my vehicle. even if it breaks down a lot, at least I'd be able to work on it. But if I can't work on it and it breaks down a lot, that's planned obsolescence. So, that's planned obsolescence explained. See you later.